in the corridor?
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Oh, settle. Good.
Yes.
Relax.
Oh, it's been in with Timothy. I've come straight out. I don't know where to go. How's your day going anyway? Good?
Good.
And you're in a small hot room?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, Tim, would you now allow Johnny to give you a nice close shave? Would you trust him?
No, I've seen him do it to other people, and there's absolutely no way. No, because I saw how nervous he got doing it. I mean, singing part didn't seem to bother him. It's the shaving that was the trouble. And shaving and singing, you know better than I do, but that was not as easy as it looks.
Oh.
Was there any real bloodshed on that set? You've kept quiet about?
No, but I almost had a nervous breakdown. just having to lather up, Alan Rickman and shave him. That scared me beyond belief.
Were those knives actually sharp?
No.
No, we can't allow that. We did have somebody come in to give us
A demonstration,
and we tested on one of our assistant directors, and the guy, by the end of it, he was bleeding all over his face. So we said, okay, no way. It's movie making, it's all make believe.
Didn't one guy pull out an electric razor?
Yeah, I go, this story takes place in the 1800s. It did not take place in 1989, So.
Bit of artistic license.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
So when you first came across this project, did you immediately think, right, Johnny, Helena, there we go, that's my...
Well, yeah, when I first was involved with it about 10 years ago, and so I didn't think of them then because it wouldn't have really been right, but luckily it happened now, and yes, they both were extremely right, because the image of them as a couple was so important, and I think... they make a lovely couple. It's such a strong. Both the silent movie actors, and Johnny's able to convey so much with his eyes, and that's what the character really needed, and so it's lucky that it happened now as opposed to then.
Do you think you make a lovely couple?
I think as Sweeney and Mrs. Lovett, I think that certainly Helena there was no question. I mean, even from the first second that I thought of doing the movie, that she was the perfect Mrs. Lovett. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, yeah.
And the three of you together on set, do you think it's quite hard for other people? Because you must have sort of quite a lot of intuitive things going on between the three of you. Do you think it makes it more difficult for the rest of the crew and the cast?
No, I mean, because in fact, I think, I've worked with Johnny many, many times, and, Hella, this is kind of the first big, I've worked with her a few times, but this is kind of the first kind of role like this. So, with every act, there's different forms of communication, and so, no, I think with everybody, you just treat each one like an individual. So I don't think anybody felt any, it's such a small kind of intimate cast that I think everybody just felt pretty good.
Also the crew, because you've done quite a number of films with this crew, so it's like and so have I. So it's just like a big family.
Yeah, it was a nice weird family situation.
And where are you going to go from here? What's going to be your next? I mean, it's pretty dark, it's pretty gory, it's pretty gruesome.
Well, I think I might go to the bathroom next, because I've been sitting in this chair for a while, but beyond that, I don't really know.
And I'll just go wait outside the door.
I'm glad, outside the door, that's a good sign. Just finally...
I just want to be specific that I'll be outside the door, that's all.
Okay,
and finally...
We won't be singing in the shower together.
Oh, no, I haven't. As two Americans that live outside of America, I just wondered how you feel, sort of the political changes that are going on at the moment in the States. Do you feel disconnected from that, or do you feel very sort of close to what's going on?
I can't wait till Herbert Hoover gets back into office.
It's going to be...
I like Ike.
Yeah. Well, November's coming up, isn't it? Yeah.
I just can't wait for Ronald Reagan to be out of office finally.
And his son.
Yeah. We've been away a long time.
The monkey, the chimp. Was it Bonzo or something?
Yeah, goes to college. Yeah.
We've
been out of the country a long time.
Thank you very much.
Who's this president?
Who are you representing?
Associated Press.
That's I've seen that necklace. Was that a Paul Smith thing?
I would like to say it was, but it's actually Topshop.
Is it? It's
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
No, I saw it earlier on when I walked past you in the corridor. I thought,
No, it's pleasant.
It's nice until you pick it up and realise it's like it feels like plastic, but it looks nice.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, anyway.
Don't keep your mystery.
Keep a secret tonight. Keep quiet.
So we're rolling, so in your own
Okay.
time, really.
So, how was it to be Alan Rickman's sort of Skippy? How's that
I've done it
experience?
before. I do actually clean for him when things are a bit on the ground. I go around and do a bit of light dusting. So I'm used to being his servant. He's actually a wonderful actor, and it's so nice to try and when you get someone who's that good at playing repressed perverts, and you're playing someone who's also a pervert. It's a kind of pervertathon. So it was like a really wonderful, tacit. They have a tacit relationship where my character, provides and procures for him all the things he needs without too much instruction. I think they both know that they're weird. They know that they're strange, and that they rather enjoy the fact that they, they're kind of the Wests, really.
Nice.
Yes.
And there was no method acting there where he made you go and get off and get his tea in between takes and stuff, and like ordered you off to the.
No, he didn't order me off. No. We're both ex members of the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, where all is decent, and we are very respectful of each other's modus operandis.
It must have been an absolutely brilliant part to play. I can imagine.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, and you also get to sing.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Nerve-wracking. Yeah, I mean, singing is another discipline, and then having to act, and then sing to your own self singing is the thing is about it is that if you're in a musical and you don't sing, you feel a bit left out. At least I had a little number, so I mean, it's nice to be, and there's something about a musical genre where it creates a esprit de corps in a sense. You get a real sense of company, because particularly in this case where most of the actors not really known for singing, so everybody knew that they were kind of cacking themselves. So you get this sense of, oh, go on, do it well, come on, please. Oh yeah, oh God, you got away with it, So there's this sense of well wishing, that I don't know what it is about musical theatre. It just is. It creates this odd sense of togetherness, and I think that's in the movie. There's a sort of, but I don't think it actually doesn't look or smell to me when I saw it. I first saw it for the first time yesterday as a musical thing. I mean, it is a big musical, but it doesn't seem like a film version of a play. There's something totally cinematographic about it. It is an experience that I've never really seen before, because it's a familiar piece, but the way that Tim has shot it, it's so classical in I don't know, he's almost created a different genre in a sense, and I think he set the bar originally and very high, and I don't know, it's too original to encapsulate in a sense, and it's a great, I'm very proud to be in something like this, because it could have so easily failed.
I was going to say, it's quite hard as well to get the sort of horror aspect in a musical without sort of going down the Rocky Horror route. That's quite a difficult thing to do in itself. And it is quite gory and scary, really.
Yeah, I think it is, and it should be. But fundamentally, it's a revenger's tragedy, and the revenge in it and the music and the dramatic thrust of it is a poetic one to a sense. It's not exploitational, although it does use visually and to a certain extent grammatically the sort of version of Hammer horror films, which is a kind of odd version of Gothic horror literature. I mean, it's by no coincidence that we happen to have made it in England, and it's an English story, because we have that in our very lifeblood, in our literature. And I think it's no coincidence that Tim Burton happens to live in England and taps into that, the knowledge of that, and that sense of, the Gothic horror fear of what is around the corner, the sense of revenge, the sense of the wrong people being in charge, and also the whole thing basically being suspended on a platform which underneath is a whole lagoon of sexual repression. I mean, that's what this film really is, in a sense. And the blood and all that is a kind of release and a poetic and almost a comic, mixture of comic and a character in itself. So, you know, you can take it on many different levels. I think it's a very sophisticated piece of filmmaking, and it's also entertaining. You don't have to be, you know, in any way informed of its genesis to be entertained by it, because I think it's so striking to look at. I mean, I sat with my gob open, and I forgot I was in it at one point. When I turned up, I thought, oh, I know him. Oh, he's not bad. Oh, he's terrible.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
All right.
I enjoyed it very much.
All right,
Well
good.
done.
It's a
Well
good
done.
movie, isn't it?
Well,
It's okay. How's yours?
it's good actually, yep, having a good day today.
Cool.
It's Friday too, so
Yeah.
so it was a bonus. So how did you find last night, first of all?
I loved it. Oh no, it was great. And the atmosphere as well was excellent. So no, I've loved it.
Was it your first experience of that kind of setup?
It was. I'd done the one in New York, but that was nowhere near this size. The one here was massive.
Do you think it's something you could get used to?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it as a hobby at the moment, which is a great thing to be doing, I think. And to be able to just go back to school and be normal is great as well.
And can you do that? Do other people allow you to do that? And what's
Yeah,
the point?
they're being very good. All of my friends at school have stayed the same, which has been really good for me.
What about girls?
Well, once they see the end of the film, I'm sure it will change their view.
Yeah, actually, I suppose that's the thing. It's not out yet, so you've still got the biggest thing to come, really,
Yeah.
haven't you? 'Cause, at the moment, it's just the talk at the moment. So, tell me about the experience of working on the film for start.
It's been a phenomenal experience. I've loved a lot. Obviously, it was really scary at the beginning, but everyone was so nice and they just made me feel really welcome, really. So it's all been an amazing experience.
Was it kind of how you expected it to be? Did you have certain expectations before you started filming of what you thought it was going to be like?
I didn't have a clue. I really didn't know what I was going in for, to be honest. It was a massive shock. Walking in on the set, they'd actually built Fleet Street in a warehouse. It was amazing. So I was blown away with every aspect of the filming process.
Do you think would it have been more scary if you had known beforehand?
I think it would have, yeah. Yeah, it would.
And then you obviously have a lot of scenes with Helena. How was that? What kind of relationship did you guys have?
Helena was great. Helena was excellent. She was like an on and off set mum, really. She would help me an immense amount. I'd only done a bit of theatre in the past, a tiny bit with the Nash Heath Music Theatre. So I had been taught to always overact and be over the top. So to be doing film, I had to change it quite a bit and tone down, and she helped me an awful lot to do that, which was great.
And what about the singing side of things? Have you done a lot of singing before? Have you got a lot of experience?
No, I'd done some singing lessons at school and some before the actual recording, so not much. But again, because I was working with some great people, it made it so much easier for me. And I also recorded with Helena as well, and she was very comforting, which was great.
Did you have to study while you were filming? So were you dragged off and taken off to school?
Yeah, I had an on-set tutor, but he was great. He really did make it enjoyable to be leaving the film set and actually going to do a bit of work, which is strange, but no, he was great fun.
And it's quite a gory film, the end result. What do you think? Is it a film for kids? Should kids be watching it?
What sort of age would you call kids?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's a good question, actually. What age? Okay, I'll put it this way. What age do you think it should be?
I think a 16-year-old could quite easily cope with this sort of film. I think as much as it's gory, there's romance, comedy, there's the music as well, which is amazing. And when you mix all of these together, it takes that 18 certificate away, I think. I think as much as there is a lot of gore, there's so many other things going on at the same time. I mean, I'd obviously would be slightly biased because I was watching them pump the blood through, and the blood was orange to me. So when I watch it on the screen, it doesn't look as realistic as it would to other viewers. But no, I'd say 16 could cope with it.
And what kind of thing would you like to do following on from this? Has it made you given you the acting bug, the sort of film bug, or would you like to do musicals? What kind of thing would you?
I definitely have the acting bug. This Sweeney Todd was the ultimate for me. I've been doing guitar since I was about 5, and music has sort of been my passion. So to be able to be able to mix music with film is really been a dream for me. So this has been the ultimate.
And what's been the best bit so far? The filming, seeing the end result, having all the red carpet stuff. What's your favourite moment so far?
Seeing the end result was pretty special. I was very impressed, even down to the colours they used on the screen. But the whole process, really, even from start to finish, has been such an amazing experience. It's hard to pick out one thing. So yeah, the whole thing's been really special.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is it your first sort of taste of a premiere of that kind?
Of that proportion, indeed. It was insane. I pulled up in this car and I had to get my tickets out the back of the car in the boot, and I pulled up and all these people are there and I was like desperately trying to get the boot open and it was locked, and so I looked like a fool.
Schoolboy era.
It was a schoolboy era, definitely, 100%.
Now, you both sort of spend most of the film sort of lovelorn. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? How did you find that? And did you draw on personal experiences, or how did you get to that?
And I didn't draw on personal experience. I mean, it's in the script, you know. How did I know what to say? It was in the script, you know. And I you know, in some respects, I wish I'd had to have a few more. Maybe another scene where I get beaten up, or a slashing throat scene. You know, that would have been fun. But I don't know. I just kind of played it very naturally, I think. I tried.
Yeah, I didn't draw on any personal experience. I've never been locked up in a house with a pervert, so...
Good, I'm glad. I'm quite glad to hear that. And am I right in thinking it's sort of it's a debut for both of you as a cinema sort of film?
Yeah.
How was the experience as you expected it to be?
Oh, I suppose I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, you can only just imagine what's that sort of thing goes on in Pinewood Studios, but you just walk in and it's a whole other world. It was incredible. The whole thing was just better than I could possibly have imagined.
I don't know if I had any expectations, to be honest with you. I didn't really believe
you're
that
chilled out, Jamie.
Well, I didn't really believe that I had the part, to be honest with you. Like,
It's all a lie.
Yeah, I was like, this is all rubbish, isn't it? I'm just going to get a call from somebody going, yeah, I fooled you. I didn't have any expectations, but if I did, they were all shattered when I got there because it was just so much bigger than I expected. It was huge. I mean, like, the sets were absolutely amazing. Everything was just massive on such a big proportion, and I was just shocked. Fact. There you go.
There we go.
Full stop.
Yeah. And then there's obviously the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp duo as well to come in. Was that obviously you must have sort of had to think about what that might be like to work, and was it the experience you expected it to be?
Well, everyone talks about that, you know, and says that there's like a really great bond and chemistry between the two, and it's true, you know. They're really good friends, and they all have these wee private jokes together.
It's interesting. I didn't know how close their relationship was before they started, and watching them is actually I was very lucky to be able to be one of the people that gets to see that.
Yeah.
And they're very funny. They are very funny people, both of them, and it's great fun, and it makes everything a whole lot more relaxed. If you got the director and the lead character having a laugh, everybody else has a laugh, kind of joins in.
Is it hard in some? Is it hard in some ways, just because there obviously must be a bond, and Helena as well? Is there some aspect of feeling a bit like I don't know, like the new kid in school kind of thing? Because it must be quite intuitive about the way they work together. Did you feel extra pressure?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's going to be pressure anyway because you're working with such an acclaimed director and such an acclaimed cast. But they were very open. Fortunately for me, Helena and I have some mutual friends that we both know, so we had a bit to talk about. But it was. I did find it scary to begin with, but then they are open. I had nothing to be worried about in the end of it.
And just finally, the singing aspect. How did you find that? And what's your sort of singing background? Are you trained singers? Or are you...
I went singing lessons when I was younger. but I'd never sung a Sondheim song in my life. I never expected to be able to do it because this stuff's so hard. But I forget the question.
Singing stuff.
Oh yeah, the singing stuff. Yeah, it was really fun. I love singing, so it was great to be able to do that in a film. It's great to be in a film for a start.
Like Jane, I'd done some singing lessons beforehand. You know, your parents make you do an instrument. Mine was singing. So I did some stuff, but nothing really on this kind of grand scale, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, very, very big this time. Very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely, thank you very much. I'm being told I must
so
end
much.
there.
Okay.
But
Your
good luck
shoes
with
are
it all.
really nice.
Oh, thank you.
so much.